I am fully abstinent.
Whoa, you're fully abstinent.
For 4 months.
Okay.
And I'm planning for at least a year. But I just got to the point where I know I am not looking for a partner. And I don't believe that relationships and lifelong partnership or marriage is for everyone.
What's something that people often misinterpret about you when they first meet you?
They think that I would be somebody who would be like full of myself or rude. And then they come to find out that I'm the complete opposite and that I'm really kind. One of my friends last night, she hugged me goodbye and just was like, "You're the kindest person ever. Thank you for being you." And I literally started crying.
You don't come off that way. That's what people think.
If they see me from afar
Okay.
and they're like judging based on the makeup and the tattoos and the I think sometimes it's the fact that I have confidence.
Yeah.
And they see that and they're intimidated by that because not everyone has that.
Yeah. I walk the other way.
I feel like I might be semi-intimidated by the tattoos. But
right.
You also have a very friendly face and
thanks.
Demeanor. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Good compliment.
And what is your name?
That's my next question.
Your next question?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Hey, anyway, but thank you so much for coming on to the Table for One podcast. We have Elaine Laurie here. Appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. Yeah. Thanks for doing this. I appreciate you coming on. Do you mind me asking just a couple personal questions, like your age? What's your age?
37.
Okay. 37. Okay. And then where are you originally from?
Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay. You miss it?
No, I don't feel like I belong there. I feel like it was good to grow up there.
Yeah.
And it still is a city, which is good because my parents are from a smaller town. So I was very grateful that my parents moved to a decent sized city. But ever since I was in college, I kept wanting to go to other bigger cities. I ended up traveling to Atlanta 14 trips within 3.5 years during college. And also during that time, I had a few friends move to LA that then I would travel to LA to visit them. And so that led me to moving to LA.
Okay. And now you're here.
Yeah.
So how do you like it here?
I love it here.
Okay.
With being here for so long now, it's definitely my favorite place I've lived. I think that if I was meant to go anywhere else, it would be Southern California.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cali gal. And so here as a whole is very good. Dating scene, what's your overall perception of that?
I feel like when it comes to dating around, I haven't really done that a whole lot. I've just been in relationships a lot of the time that I've lived here more than going on random dates.
Okay.
So it's hard for me to say what the dating scene is as a whole.
Okay.
But
this is home for you. You're staying.
Yeah. I mean, it's been 12 years.
There you go.
Yeah.
I feel like that's native status. Right?
No, I can't claim that.
Well, for people, yes, there are actual natives here.
If I said that and a native heard
Yeah,
that, they'd be like, "Excuse me."
But you're almost there, I feel like.
I mean, it's a lot more than a lot of people.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, there's barely, it's always, I couldn't say that.
Yeah.
Year and almost 2 years. But hey, do you mind if we do a segment brought to you by our sponsor?
Sure.
We're going to roll right into the segment here. Okay, we're going to listen to a couple words from our sponsor real quick. Okay. So this segment, and for anybody that doesn't know, Elaine is a tattoo artist here, and then you work at, is it Illuminati? Illuminati. Okay.
Very
Lumen.
talented,
Yes.
might I say.
Thanks.
I've seen her work.
Yeah, go check out her Instagram, her TikTok. It is very good. It's very impressive stuff there. But this segment is called Ink and Intimacy.
Oh, love it.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So just, a couple questions about tattoos, maybe tattoos in the dating scenario. But so out of every date you've probably gone on, how many times do tattoos get brought up in the first date?
Always.
It's always.
Always.
Okay. How do they ask? Is it within the first 10 minutes or?
I guess probably.
Okay.
Most of the time I have dated people with tattoos, but sometimes I don't. And then that's always interesting for me. I'm like, why am I talking to somebody with no tattoos?
You don't like a guy with no tattoos?
I know. I've been open to it. I'm open to anyone. So,
do you look at them as a blank canvas?
I probably should, but no, I haven't looked at that because I wouldn't want to force someone to get a tattoo if that's not
Like when
their
they're
thing.
sleeping, you know, after a couple of drinks, you get the pen out.
No, definitely not that. But that's funny.
Okay. What's a tattoo that guys get that like turns you off the most?
That's a good one. I think there's just so much talk around the like clock tattoos. There's so many clocks that people get where they're like, the time matters. But I don't know. I think that would probably be because it's hard to make look good as a tattoo over a long period of time unless the artist is incredibly good.
Yeah, and then
with
it's
like all the tiny little details in it.
And it's only right like 2 times a day too. So.
Yeah, and then how do you pick the time? And then they have a story about what the time means.
That's just very cliche, you think?
Yeah.
What do you think about this one right here? Is this a bad tattoo?
No.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Actually, when did you get that?
I got it with my sisters.
But
in
how
San
long
Antonio.
ago?
Probably, I think the guy was on meth, but it was probably, 2-3 years ago?
Oh,
the
it
guy
looks
was
great.
like shaking.
A lot of times that area,
Yeah.
like near the wrist, doesn't age well and it blobs out and blurs
Theirs,
more.
like some of theirs, you can't even see anymore.
Right.
So I
Yours
don't know
looks
what they did
great.
to mine, but it works. Hey,
Yeah.
there we go. Somebody called my tattoo crap the other day.
That's the only one you have?
Yeah, that's the only one I have.
Yeah. Well, at least you have one.
Big tatted up. What's the worst one you've ever seen, like on anybody, like a worst tattoo?
Oh man, I've seen a lot of bad tattoos.
Really?
A lot.
Okay.
Just in general. I think the first one that comes to mind is one that I saw on a client not long ago where it was technically a good tattoo artist that I don't know what was up with him that day because he did it to like do this tattoo to show it off at a convention, and then it was the most keloided, like raised up, where it healed really, really bad, where he like just dug extremely deep. And she had to like go back to him and have him like fix it. And I think it like smoothed out a tiny bit and leveled out, but he just dug super, super deep and it did not.
I bet that hurt, right?
Oh yeah, that makes it hurt so much more. And then it just was I guess with the keloiding, it scars the skin to a really intense extreme where it like bubbles it up and like it's a lifted area. And it was like throughout the tattoo, it had a bunch of spots like that. So that was like one of the worst ones I've seen recently. Because I've seen a lot of bad ones where it's just like very splotchy, not held in very well, stuff like that.
Do you have one that maybe you regret getting, or is it just a story to you?
I don't regret any of them. I did feel like my main chest piece that's in the center, I did get like the neck tattoo above it, but the chest piece that's in the center, I felt like it was like since it was my 5th tattoo, it was a big decision. I even told the guy when he did it, like, you're changing my whole look. This is a chest tattoo. And I always thought after that tattoo, like, maybe I should have got it like here or somewhere else just so it wasn't on my chest. And I've actually had it redone 2 other times after getting it done.
Okay.
I've like fully re-outlined.
Do you give a lot of women chest tattoos and all that? And can you kind of explain a little bit about the story behind that, on why maybe women just in general come to you and feel comfortable and like what they're looking to achieve from that?
Yeah, they love the self-confidence that my style and tattoos give them. And they love that it's like permanent jewelry. And that's like one of my favorite things. Yeah, it's like an accessory. But I feel like they're very timeless. And they're not really going to like look weird in the future because with the style, it's very minimal, but still bold and will age well.
And explain your style that you do.
Ornamental.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why'd you get into that?
I just really love accentuating bodies, especially women's bodies. Yeah. And doing things that form and fit, even with my back piece, which is really extreme. It's just full color and geometric shapes. I told him, I was like, I know that so many tattoos that are full back pieces cover the booty. And I was like, hey, I've been building my booty for years in the gym.
Trying
You're
to show
not
this thing
covering it
off.
with
Yeah.
ink. Yeah.
Okay.
You're not covering it with ink. And he took it upon himself to wrap it around my hips and
Okay.
under my butt and the back of my thighs. So even that's one of the styles that I've done on a lot of girls is booty wraps.
You got like permanent Gymshark, like legs.
Yeah.
On. I feel like that's what that is. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Our buddy has, he's tatted up, essentially he's got a full piece on the front, arms, legs, and he got his nipples. He's a white dude, so like it's very, prominent. So like his, he's got his nipples done. What do you think about people getting their nipples fully blacked out?
So what else does he have on his pecs to go with that? Is it just black nipples with nothing else?
I think he's still working on it. He's got
it's still in process.
But
I don't know
did
what
the
you
chest
call that.
Like, isn't
It's
it
like
a
a
chest
very-
piece?
yeah, it's like
Oh,
a-
yeah.
the nipples?
a
Okay.
full
It might
chest
be a
piece.
samurai on his.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
okay.
a,
I love that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Would that
it's
alarm
got to be
you if you
really
took a guy's
intense.
shirt off and it's just, very midnight black, like nipples?
What about it?
Would that alarm you if you took a guy's shirt off and he had the nipples like
black
that?
nipples.
No,
What about the belly button?
no, that's cool. It's definitely
You're still good, Jordan.
a cool thing to get
Yeah.
any type of body
What do
art.
you think about face tattoos?
So for myself, I don't know if I'll end up getting them or not.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have this little bit on my neck and I'm not even sure if I
Mm-hmm.
want like full tattoos on my neck. Cause it's just, when it comes to hands and neck and face, those are a little bit more of a commitment. And I think they're really cool. I work with a girl that has so many face tattoos, too many to even count. I
Yeah.
feel like at this point, and she looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we have one of our buddies dating a gal and she's got face tattoos and it like fits her well. Honestly.
yeah, it's another layer of like accessories, but just on your face. And I respect it.
Have you ever got like an off feeling from a date that you went on and they saw your tattoos and they, maybe.
No.
No, nothing.
The opposite.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
They're more interested, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So like guys with no ink though, are you more attracted to them or more attracted to guys that have?
I think probably people with ink would be I don't know. Sometimes I forget how tattooed I am.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't even on my radar for such a long time. And then all of a sudden it was. And then it took me a while to get tattooed. I actually only had 6 tattoos until 2017.
Okay.
So, I had like the chest piece and I had like one of my bigger leg tattoos on my
What's
whole
your
calf.
favorite one?
I would say my back is my
Okay.
favorite just
Yeah.
because it's so unique.
It's very colorful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and it's cool because I have all of my arm tattoos and center of front of body tattoos black.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a mixture on my legs of black and color. And then my back is just so much color.
Okay. You know what? Because my parents told me this,
Mm-hmm.
but like both of my sisters have, tattoos or a couple or whatever. But they were like, don't do it. Did your parents ever say that to you or like growing up, never get tattoos or anything like that?
No, they didn't. And they've really been accepting of my
Okay.
tattoos. And it's kind of surprised me. I feel like my mom's a little bit more quiet about it, but not in a bad way. She just, a lack of understanding of it maybe on her part, which is fine. And my dad, he just kind of is like, oh, that's a new one I haven't seen before. Yeah. And actually, he's obsessed with TikTok, and he's been following me on TikTok, and he watches all of my TikToks, and then he'll send me TikTok tattoo videos just to be like, look at this funny tattoo TikTok that I found. And I'm like, yay, you're in the whole tattoo TikTok world. It's really special.
And you do pretty good on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
I've heard that. Okay. And is it mostly just you, doing your tattoos?
It's honestly a lot of the same videos on Instagram, and it would pop off on TikTok and struggle on Instagram, as we know how that sometimes goes.
Yeah. Do you have like a chaotic story in the studio of maybe like somebody not liking it or not paying or something just wild that you've ever been in there tattooing?
I would say nothing like that, but the wildest story that I have was when I worked at the shop in Hollywood.
Okay.
And one of the guys that I worked with, he would draw human figures all the time, women, men, like superhero type stuff, fantasy stuff. And the second person I ever tattooed, he looked at this person up and down for a while and he was like, I have to ask, what are you? And the person was like, I'm a hermaphrodite. I have both genitals, blah, blah, blah. And was like so excited. to tell him.
He said that to the person tattooing him, or
The person that I was tattooing had
he
both.
just said that.
And he was just like, what?
How did he know?
He could tell that this person had both women and man body parts throughout their body. I thought it was a gay guy at first.
Yeah.
And my coworker was like, I have to ask because your body is so confusing. You're both a man and a woman, and I don't understand. And they were like, oh yeah, I am both a man and woman.
Oh, at least
yeah.
They didn't get mad at him.
No, they were like, here's a picture of my genitalia.
Whoa.
And I didn't look. I didn't look, and I regret not looking. I should have looked.
Yeah,
I just was trying not to be nosy, I guess, but I should have been nosy in that moment. Why not?
Yeah, Hollywood tattooing.
Oh, Hollywood's wild.
So like
I was on Hollywood Boulevard.
Okay, any famous people or?
No, I mean famous people. If anything, Runyon Canyon is the like hike up Hollywood Hills that everyone does. So I would go up there sometimes, and I went with a friend's roommate once, and he kept being like, "There's so and so, there's so and so," and I was like, "Shut up, leave them alone.
Yeah.
They're just other humans hiking this trail."
What do you think of MGK? He has all the.
Oh my gosh, when he got the like more detailed, like I don't know if you guys ever saw the like throat, maybe not throat, but like chest piece. I think he might have even kind of, he blacked it out. But when it was like the very detailed in between, it looked so cool.
Okay.
And I mean, the blackout's cool too.
Okay.
There's different levels of it, right?
Okay. What do you think about him as a person?
I really don't know much. I just know that Megan Fox was pregnant and she saw some shit on his phone and wasn't happy about it. And
she was in Transformers, right?
That.
She was in Transformers?
Well, she was in Transformers, right?
I don't think I've watched that actually. But
yeah, she was.
right.
I'll tell you
Me
that.
neither. No,
She
that's every
and she
guy,
fixed that car good.
That's every guy's like first
I watched
like
her
awakening to where like
when she's
you're a
fixing the
straight
car,
person.
the hood open.
Yeah, when she's over the car and you see that in theaters the first time. You're like,
that's when I knew I was straight.
I'm actually not straight.
Okay,
I'm bi.
Oh, you're bi.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm open to
I
everyone.
did not know that.
Let's get into
Which
that.
actually is omnisexual.
Okay.
Because some people say it's pan, but pan is gender blindness. But I'm more of like, if I see a gender, that doesn't matter, and it wouldn't be blindness. It would be like, oh, I see what that gender is, and I like you for that reason too. It's not that I would be like, oh, I don't care what it is.
When did you know?
Probably like early college days.
Okay. You saw like you were always attracted to guys at first, and then you were just, okay. And then what was it? There was just.
I always thought women were beautiful since I was a kid, but I mean, I didn't think of it like that until I was in college, and then I was like, actually, I am into women.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then was it like an awakening just from seeing the person, or something happened? And
it would just be more situational. If I would like be attracted to a girl, or they would be attracted to me, and then we'd have our moment. I've never dated a girl seriously.
Oh, okay.
Though.
No relationships
No.
with that. Okay. So just like. Kind of
men have always gotten to me first.
Those devils. Okay, almost done with the segment. And it has nothing to do with intimacy. It's just more tattoo talk. But thoughts on tramp stamps? And is that a bad word to say about a tramp stamp? Because
people can use whatever words they want, and it is what it is. And it's everyone's different perception of tattoos can mean what it wants to, or mean what they want it to mean for them.
Yeah.
But
it can look nice. I
think that's kind of a silly thing now. Or I feel like somebody said that there's a tattoo that I've done that's like a new form of a tramp stamp. I thought that was, I don't even remember what placement it was because it was just silly. And I was just like, okay, if you want to think that, you can. And that's for you. Yeah. But I don't believe in that. And I think that's such a thing of the past, tramp stamp. That's like,
I don't say it.
Early high school days. I don't know.
Yeah, that's I'm trying to think of a better word for it, but I don't have one. So, have you ever said no to a request?
I mean, I had some girl ask me if I would tattoo her friend's butthole, or like coming out from the butthole, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? It's just too far for you.
Like a snake coming out or something?
No, it was like, I forget. Like, I feel like I've seen maybe it was a spider web type of thing, or is what I'm envisioning or thinking it was right now. But I just don't think I want to
That would hurt.
to do that and have to like pull the booty open and like get in
You'd
there.
have to have, that would be a 3-person job. You'd have to have one on the left, one on the right.
I would just have to have them in a certain position that would not be good. And I just think, let somebody else do that.
Yeah, that sounds like a job for not you.
Yeah.
Okay, the ideal amount of tattoos on a guy to where, like, personally, most attractive to you and placements.
I feel like I'm very flexible with what I believe to be cool for tattoos for men. And I think that everyone has their own unique styles and tattoo styles. And I like a lot of it. I think.
What's your favorite spot for a tattoo?
On a guy?
Yeah.
Probably like a sleeve would be really cool. It's even taken me a really long time to start getting arm tattoos.
Okay.
I only had one arm tattoo until 2020. And then I've gotten the rest since then.
Is
and
that
I
just
still have like space.
Do you see like the younger generation only getting tattooed on the arms? And
I'm
like,
okay
the
with that.
appendages? Okay.
I
But
feel like a lot of
nothing-
people are really upset about like people getting hand tattoos and neck tattoos and face tattoos first.
And nothing here.
I don't think there's any problem with that. I think if that's a style choice that people want, then it's 2025 and they can do that if they want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, you kind of let me in a little bit. Hey, done with the segment. Done with the
Wait,
segment.
let me add one to the segment.
Yeah. One.
Have you done a tattoo, maybe romantic, that you knew that they would regret?
Ooh, good question.
What do you mean romantic?
I mean, it just
their
any
name,
tattoo,
maybe
you
get
know,
a-
like a boyfriend's name or some, or it could be anything that you knew they would regret.
No.
No. Okay.
Have you ever had to do a cover up on somebody that got like a romantic tattoo? Didn't
No.
work out in that relationship?
I don't think so. I've heard of them.
Okay.
But I haven't personally done it.
I know several people who got like initials and then they covered it up and like turned it into a word.
I've
Like
seen that.
one of my college friends had. I don't remember.
There's
what
always
it is,
option
but-
for cover-ups.
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
something I've talked about in my videos too, is you shouldn't always jump straight to getting removal, and there's always an option.
What happens
to
when they get
cover-ups.
the ring around their finger? Then they're divorced.
Yeah, well, I mean, for that,
You just gotta black out the whole hand. Then,
You got
No.
tattoo removal, right?
There is tattoo removal, but it's really expensive.
And then you
It's
could
a
just say,
big-
I got
it takes a long
frostbite in this
time.
hand.
Yeah.
Just cut the whole finger off.
Yeah. Okay, but anyway, done with the segment. Good question. So you let me in on a little insight before. Your dating life right now, for lack of a better words, is maybe non-existent.
Non-existent, and I am
Non-existent.
so proud.
Okay,
of that.
I want to dive into that.
I am
Tell us.
fully abstinent
Okay. Whoa, you're fully abstinent.
for 4 months.
Okay.
And I'm planning for at least a year, which since it was before Thanksgiving of the last time, I would want it to at least be until like next January. And I think by next January, I'll reassess how I feel at that time.
Okay.
But I just got to the point where I know I am not looking for a partner. And I don't believe that relationships and lifelong partnership or marriage is for everyone.
Okay.
I have tried it many times with my 6 serious relationships, and a lot of them were for 2 years at a time. The longest was 3.5 years. And it was really after the 3.5 year that I was really like, I don't think I'm meant to do this. And then I continued to still get caught up in date. And I think sometimes it was just led by, oh, I want to be sexual and have sex with someone. And then it would turn into a whole relationship.
And
that's
where
not
it
what I
was
wanted.
Not where you were. So,
But then I would just be like, okay, well, now I'm kind of committing and let's try it out. Let's try to make it work.
why not just do like casual sex?
So I tried that last
Okay.
year. It didn't serve me at all.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a big risk of feeling that the people who are doing that are doing it with many people. And I'm not okay with that. And I just feel like it really would like hurt me more than make me feel like this is fun.
Because you would get attached, maybe, or was it?
No, not necessarily. It's just that it would just kind of like hurt my feelings knowing that this person's probably doing this with other people.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, I don't need to get my feelings hurt because this person doesn't really mean that much to me anyway. So what's the point?
Yeah. What point in the relationship would you retract, or you know, would they, I mean, what was it, you know, I'm not saying scared at all, but like scared of the next step, or just, or you knew they weren't the right
Well, when
person?
I was trying to do the casual thing, it wasn't leading to a next step.
But when you were in relationships, like, was it something where the next step was coming close and you could feel it and you just knew it wasn't the right person, or you just didn't want to be, you know, this is your person, the one and only? And
I was the one to end all
Okay.
of my relationships. And I just came to the point to feel that these people aren't my person. And so then I would push away or just have to break up with them and realize that being on my own was better.
Okay.
And before I ever lived alone, I would have all these women come to me, have you lived alone yet? And I was like, no, I want to so bad. But I just financially, when I was younger, couldn't. And they were just always like, it's awesome. And now I just hit 5 years of living alone and it just keeps getting better.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like, let me think. Yeah, I guess only a couple of years for me. I mean, all in all.
I do have a cat though. And I do.
You got a cat.
I was just going to ask that, if you have a pet.
Yeah.
Cats
I've
are
had
the best.
You're calling her a cat lady?
No, unpopular opinion, cats are way better than
Isaac's
dogs.
a cat guy.
Well,
As
I just
pets?
can't commit to a dog with my busy work
I
schedule.
know, I
It's a big
know.
thing.
And cats make that flexibility.
Yeah,
where-
but she still is very needy. And I've
Okay,
got to play with
okay.
her every morning, every night. She has to have her brush time. I've already brushed her twice today, and she's obsessed with
Too
being
hairy.
brushed.
They get hair everywhere.
I know.
do
I was just
dogs.
sitting here like wiping
No,
off
no,
every
no,
little
not
hair.
all dogs, but it's like cat hair. I went over to Isaac's parents' house one time. He's working on the
Hey,
countertop.
you
There's
shut up. She's
hair
an angel.
all over the fucking dinner table.
I do
go,
have. I mean,
Okay,
there's a lot to
that's an
clean all the
exaggeration.
time in apartments anyway.
Yeah.
There's dust that gets around even
Yeah.
without an animal, so it's just part of the normal cleaning.
It's just cats or something about it. They're not like even that friendly. You know, sometimes they're friendly, but like they're just like a dog. You
Yeah,
open up
but
the door,
I'm-
they're wagging the tail.
I'm very independent, so
Okay.
having an animal that's independent is good.
Yeah. What do you think
good.
about cat guys?
Love that. Absolutely love it. It's great.
Me too. Me too.
Okay.
No, that's the best.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to ask like a little bit more about, so if it was like, was it something the guy was doing that you knew that it wasn't your person?
Yeah, there was different things. A lot of negativity.
Okay.
Not wanting to work very hard.
Okay. Unmotivated or,
Yeah,
or don't have
or-
a drive.
Yeah, just not giving enough, and I don't know.
But don't you think there could be somebody that would give you all of that?
I would love to always be open-minded
Okay.
on every level of life, and I am. And I think that it's like a healing thing for me, and it's also a power thing. Like I feel like women have the power.
Yeah, they do.
They have puss power until
Damn it, they do.
until they get penetrated. Then they don't have power anymore.
Yeah.
And then their minds are distracted.
Extracted.
Yes.
Title of the episode.
That is one of my favorite words to use.
Distracted.
I feel like that's how I've gotten into a lot of my relationships.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, this is fun. I want sex. And then I'm like, oh, now I'm in a whole, like I said earlier, a whole relationship.
Have you ever been distracted?
No.
Okay.
No, but I do want to shout
Not
out our
yet.
dating coach episode, Devin Sherm. Shout out him.
He
his-
pretty much said that.
Yeah, his
What'd he
biggest
say?
thing, like, so he primarily coaches women.
Yeah.
And he was saying his biggest tip for them is just to wait for sex. And I think for that same reason, you know, because then you get that attract or whatever bond, and then it's, you know, it distracts from the bigger picture.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
Well, and a
there's
lot
some
of guys,
great points on that
they
topic.
do want to like have the chase and they want to like try to get to that point. But once they get that,
They're on to the next.
it changes sometimes.
Yeah,
And one of
yeah.
my friends was just telling me that the other day of like her experience of dating this whole past year. That's how she feels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of dogs in this town. I'm puss-distracted, I feel like. But
Good.
This guy.
okay, come on, man.
Was there a final straw with you that made you realize you don't want to date?
Just trying to date different people and really feeling like it wasn't it. But there's
Yeah.
been so many little things that have led me to feel this way. like so many documentaries of like different women that are like really powerful, awesome women, and hearing their life story. Martha Stewart's documentary just came out, and her older time period, she was in a place where she felt like so bad that her marriage ended because back in her time period, getting divorced wasn't a thing and she didn't want that. But then again, like her and her husband really, like they would both cheat, or especially him. And so it was so weird to me that she wanted to hold on to that when she's such this powerful woman that has had her own company. Or Pamela Anderson's documentary. She is 20 years older than me. And she pretty much was like, I'll never be married again. She's like, I've been married 6 times. I love love. I've given my life to these men. And now I want to do me. And I'm like, if I fucking wait 20 years to do me when I already know that that's what I want.
You do you, girl.
Yeah. Or like the Barbie movie, when that came out, I was like, wow, our whole lives, every movie, TV show, commercial has been a man and a woman are together and this is what equals happiness. And I'm like, how about no? How about I'll rebel against that and rebel against the social norm of women and men being together. And it's not that I like need to go to like dating women only or something. It's just that I just want to rebel against that social norm of women and men are supposed to be married and have kids. And I definitely don't want kids either.
Okay.
Oh, I was going to ask that. Another question. Have you tried, you said you're bi. Have you tried dating women?
I've like had experiences with women, but not dated
that.
seriously.
She did say that. Okay.
Okay.
I was not listening.
Okay. Do you believe in monogamy?
I don't.
Okay.
I feel like there is such a large percentage of people who are unfaithful. And even the statistics that have been told to the world by certain groups and people, they're like, well, how are these statistics even accurate when these people are lying and cheaters? So why would they be honest? So it's probably way higher than it even, I can't say the word, statistically says. So that's a really hard thing. And I feel like there's so many men that cheat, but I mean, there's also women that cheat. But I don't know. I feel like that's a very hard thing that a lot of people don't want to face. And
I asked this in the last one, but do you think once a cheater, always a cheater?
It depends. I feel like for men, absolutely.
Okay.
But for women, with their empathy that is more than men have typically, it could kind of go either way. Okay. But there's so many factors.
When you say you don't believe in monogamy, is that like just for you or for everyone? Like you don't think anyone's made to be monogamous?
No, I don't mean that for everyone.
Okay.
I meant that for my beliefs.
Certain people.
I didn't mean that as a blanket statement for all relationships at all.
Okay.
Because I've seen a lot of cool relationships and beautiful relationships out there that I really fully believe in. And I'm like, that couple is so amazing. And I'm so excited for them that they've found that. And that's so beautiful. And like I said, being open-minded, I really do believe in that for people, but just not for myself.
Okay.
So you said mind you, we're 2 boys from Montana that, only get to see the world as much as they've seen it, right? So if you were in a relationship, right, you said you were bi, invited a woman into is that something that you'd be interested in?
No, I'm very like one at a time type of thing.
Okay. What do you think of swingers?
That's a whole certain type of lifestyle that they have, and it works for some people, and they love that because they're definitely the people that don't want monogamy.
Yeah.
And the flexibility that they have, that's cool. But I don't see that being my thing either. And when I say I don't believe in monogamy, I don't mean that I'm wanting to like have a bunch of partners. That's not what I mean. It's just more of the lifelong journey of 2 people really being together is just not my path, but that's why I really feel like being on my own is my path.
Okay. So if it was all the way till the end, you being alone, that would be happiness for you. That's okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good outlook if that's what you, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of videos that Joe Dispenza has put out about the brain chemistry and all these studies that he's done about women who live alone and what it does to their brains. And there was a guy that tried to say once to me like, oh, well, that's how men live. And it's like, okay, well, women haven't lived this way for their, a lot of them haven't embraced it, and they've been led to believe that they're supposed to find a partner and they're supposed to have this life with a partner. And like I said, that's beautiful and really cool for a lot of people. And I do believe in that for people, but just, I think my path is very different than that. And I think with art and just being an artist, there's so much to be said about me like being in my own space and not having anyone else's energy mess with that. And that's like where I want to stay.
Do you not think like a guy could come in and enhance that, or you guys could grow even more together?
I do. Like I said, I do.
Yeah.
I am open to that. And I do believe that that could happen. But I think I just want to really focus on taking time and space for myself for a while, just because I haven't.
Yeah.
I had like a little test run last summer where I took like almost 2 months off of having sex, and then just was like, I can do it again. But now I'm like serious this time of like at least a year, and then I'll reassess how I feel after that.
You never like get the hankering for a little...
No, I'm not looking in anyone's direction.
Okay.
There is plenty of amazing toys to take care of everything on my own.
So you're still like, orgasming though.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's the thing that I believe too, is that orgasm should not depend on a partner.
Okay.
Like if you want to orgasm, that you should do that for yourself.
Can guys even make a gal orgasm? I don't know.
I think that's
From
an
licks.
urban myth.
There's
no way. There's no way guys are doing
From
that.
licks.
From licks?
Yes.
Yeah. That's
I mean, when it comes to sex, like, yes, but it's not as strong as from having somebody go down on you. The way that I've come that way is like superior for sure.
How do they do it?
You don't do that?
Oh, wait, no, I meant like by a wiener. Like I'm saying like by penetration.
Oh,
like,
it would have to be me on top.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's also that side of it.
Just kidding. I'm not terrible at sex. Jesus. All right.
I'm like, what? I get so like defensive about that. I'm like, guys need to be going down on girls. It's very important stuff.
That's fun.
Ew.
I mean, what? She said you.
I'm kidding. All right. Next question, please.
You're not a giver?
Next question, please.
Can you believe this?
Hey, he can take it all in and do what he wants with that information after it processes.
Absolutely, and I will.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. I'm refraining from making jokes and dirty jokes. So, because this is a professional podcast here.
Yes.
Hey, has an ex ever said you had a red flag?
Well, I feel like the term red flag wasn't really that big of a thing until like the past couple of years. So no.
So no, nothing.
No.
If you had to give yourself a red flag, what would you say?
I would say me like pushing away and being very like, I don't know if I want this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that my pushing away sometimes has to do with like me worrying about if I would be okay with like having somebody else's energy, good and bad, in my space at all times. Because I've only lived with 2 exes out of the 6. One of them was there was a third, but for a month we lived together, so it kind of doesn't really count to me. So 2 exes is all I've lived with out of 6 relationships. And yeah, I just feel like being in that energy, waking up with that other person when it's it's different with roommates. And it's a certain thing when it's like a partner and you guys are kind of depending on each other in a certain way and going off of each other's energy. And I just kind of don't want that energy.
Did you guys fight a lot in these relationships, or was it just okay?
No, I feel like my first relationship, there was a lot of fights, but that's just because he had major issues and I was super young to where I didn't really realize. And I think growing up the way I did, it was just kind of like, oh, I'm used to this angry behavior. So there was quite a few relationships where I dated people that were really jealous.
Maybe you just thought that was like normal too, in the first couple.
When I was younger.
Yeah.
And then as I continued to date, I knew it wasn't, but definitely in the first relationship, because I was 18 to 20 years old in that first relationship, and we didn't live together.
Can you give me like a dating horror story, maybe a first date or something chaotic? Do you have any that come to mind?
I really don't. And I
Okay.
think that's a good thing.
Okay.
I like have thought about that question a few times in the past, and I'm just like,
Just
no, I really
nobody
don't
that,
have anything
like, really
crazy.
grossed you out or rubbed you the wrong way or anything like that on a
No.
first
Well,
date.
I mean, like, there was this one guy that was telling me, it was just a first date, and that's all we ever went on, telling me that he was an addict in the past. And then he was just huffing on that vape nonstop, just pulling every 2 seconds. And so seeing that he's like telling me like we were
The
literally
smoke
at
alarm went off.
well, yeah, we were literally at like a bar that was just for mocktails only.
Oh,
And he's like, yeah, I don't do any drugs or any drinking. And he was just,
that's a drug. Nicotine's
the
a drug.
full fucking sucking on it so intensely. And so
Need to get a
that
little
was
nicotine
that
in
was
there.
the only thing that I can think of. But that wasn't that crazy. And
Mm-hmm.
I definitely didn't go on another date with him. Because I did kiss him too, and I just didn't like that. So
He's a bad kisser. Can you tell when guys are bad kissers? Right
Yeah.
away? It's just, yeah,
yeah, right away.
right away.
Yeah,
Is that a red flag?
it is.
Yeah.
What if you think of like guys kissing their buddies, you know, like not in a weird way?
I mean, you can do it in a weird way. I'm, like I said, open to everyone, loving everyone.
I probably kissed all my buddies. Not in a weird way. Yeah,
No, there's nothing weird about that.
No.
It's only weird if you make it weird.
It was weird.
Well, if you made it weird, yeah,
Well,
it's
I
weird.
didn't make. They probably did. I don't know. They
No,
were bad
I don't
kissers.
think. I don't
You
think
kiss
that's
your
weird.
buddies?
No, I kissed you.
Oh,
Cut that. Oh, okay. Oh, my parents watch this. Anyway.
Oh, no.
What do you do for
I'm not
fun?
cutting that.
I love to go on hikes in the summer, and I love to go to shows, concerts, raves, or just I feel like any electronic music show.
It's such a
is
Denver
kind of like
thing,
a rave.
isn't it? Like I
Oh,
was
there's such a good electronic
Yeah.
music community
Yeah.
here. Bass music community.
Okay.
I really love bass music.
Okay.
So
Who's
that's
your
one of the
favorite?
things I do for fun. Because I used to be a go-go dancer.
Oh,
So I was a nightclub dancer at a lot of, it was like over 44, I think the last time I checked, venues across 5 states, where I would go dance for all these events. And it was so much fun. So now I just get to go to concerts and dance for fun. But I get picky about being in crowds. I'm like, I don't have enough space to do what I have to do.
yeah. I feel like we were at John Summit, like in Vail the other time.
And that's too cold for me.
It was cold.
9 degrees,
but
no thanks.
It was like so packed. I felt like it just was not as fun as it could
Is the
have
venue
been.
pretty small?
It was just it wasn't small, but there were so many people there. Like,
And
so
everybody
we-
was pushing up to
Yeah,
the front.
we-
Like I hate being pushed when I'm at, you know,
That's
I
not
don't
okay.
Like that. And that's
I
what was
heard
going
that
on.
was like a lot of drunk people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That type of.
So yeah,
event.
like we were towards the front, I would say the top quarter of the, of the crowd. And it took me an hour to go to the bathroom and get back. Cause I've just had to shove my way through people, had people cussing me out, like go around and there's nowhere to go.
So
You
that's
just literally have
really
to go
interesting to
through.
hear because most electronic music shows are such good energy.
Yeah.
And that
It was a
seems
bunch
like
of,
a
like,
very
drunk young
different.
kids, 'cause
Yeah.
It was a lot
maybe-
of college kids.
Yeah, it was like very drunk young kids, like pushing up and all that.
That sounds awful.
I'm gonna
It was
switch
awful.
it a little more serious, but like, in the past, what makes you feel a genuine connection with somebody? Like, how do you know you have a genuine connection with them?
I think if we can both be honest with each other and be real, and then just kind of share some vulnerable moments throughout, that we've experienced throughout our lives is probably the best indicator of that.
Okay, that's when you feel something. It's just more serious. It's more deeper. It's deeper than that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a very, very good answer to that. Let me ask you another question. Ever okay to date a friend's ex?
A friend's ex?
Yeah.
No,
Ever?
never.
Yeah.
What if
I
they
mean-
just dated for a week?
Yeah, at that point, things can be situational where
Yeah.
conversations could be had. And I think if you have conversations it probably have to be a few conversations though. I don't think that if I had one conversation, I was like, are you sure? And they're like, yeah, I don't think that's enough. I think that if I got told it was enough and then went on a few dates with that person and saw how it went, and then I would have to recheck in And it would just be a respect thing at that point, just really checking in with my friend and being like, hey, things are still going well. Do you feel that this is really okay? And I really want you to tell me now that you've thought about it, because I feel like that's how I've been. If somebody tells me something, at first I can be like, oh, that's okay. But then it, like, not that type of situation, but just in general, if they tell me they did something weird, I'm like, oh, that's fine. But then the more I think about it, the more it might feel a certain way. So I think just I would have to keep checking in with that person if it came to that. But otherwise, I mean, if you can avoid that, I would say avoiding that would be best.
That's a great question. Yeah. I've been on both sides of that, and I would totally agree. Like, I think you need genuine approval from your friend.
Yeah.
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 It would take a while.
Did I ever date your ex?
No, not. I'm just saying that was a good question. But coming from Montana, smaller town.
Well, and that was my first thought. It happens. Like, you guys are coming from a small town.
Yeah,
you don't lose your girl, you just lose your turn. And so that's the thing. My bad.
Sure.
There's not a lot. Anyway, so okay, the perfect guy comes along. What does he look like? I know you're abstinent right now, but you still have a little bit of the door open. What does he look like?
I feel like I've dated Italian American men the most, but like probably darker skin than me. I'm very, very fair skinned, which I love. It took me a while to love it, but I do love it. But tall.
You just hanging out in Little Italy all day, or what
no?
are you doing?
It's just worked out to be that way. Okay. I don't know. It definitely was not that. Okay. Is there a Little Italy here?
I don't know.
There's not.
That's what they call me.
Oh, you're one of those. But I don't know. That's just kind of like what I would be drawn to. And I feel like a lot of girls say that, though. It's like the tall, dark, and handsome thing. But I've always been open to different people of different heights and different looks. And I've dated people that my friends are like, why are you dating that person? They're not attractive enough for you. And I'm just like, I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Have you ever had friends that are like, hey, what the fuck you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, well, this is what happened and this is what I'm in. And they're supportive, though.
Yeah. Okay. Value-wise, what do you need from a person?
Them to have drive and ambition is a big thing. And to be able to be honest and kind to others is huge.
Okay. Anything like that turns you off right away?
Probably like doing drugs or drinking a lot would be a big one. Somebody that's like somebody that's not very into self-growth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get pettier. Like what's something it shouldn't be an issue that is an issue?
I don't know. That's hard for me to think about.
Vapes.
You guys that are
definitely that. I've already said
that.
That's mine. I'm trying to think of like little things, but now that I'm not dating, like my mind's not been wrapped around those things.
Okay.
Yeah. So if there's a guy listening, he's really into you, your story. You said you're abstinent. You're waiting till January to reevaluate, right? Mm-hmm. Does he have a chance if he wants something serious?
I don't know the answer
you
to
don't
that.
know. Okay.
Do you check your DMs?
But they should reach out, right? They should still reach out and try, right?
Maybe they're abstinent.
Is DMs the way that people should reach out?
Well, I mean, just if they're listening to the podcast, they probably have to. Unless you guys go book a tattoo appointment, you can meet her in person.
She's booked out, right? You're booked out, or what? Okay. So if somebody actually
he has to DM you.
Yeah.
If somebody did actually want a tattoo, though, like they just have to join your mailing list.
I've had that before, only a couple times, where it's like the underlying thing is not to get a tattoo; it's to try to like get closer to me.
Whoa.
And I'm like,
really?
I don't like that.
Okay.
It's not been very much.
You got to tell them to pay double if they do that. Mm-hmm.
That would be hard for me to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to take advantage of anyone. I want to be fair to everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do they have to be fit?
I am very into fitness and weight training and just strength training in different ways. And I'm always wanting to, keep working on that because it's always a work in progress. So I like when people are fit for sure. I think if somebody wasn't fit and just didn't really care about eating healthy and fitness, that would be definitely hard for me.
What's the height?
Be into them.
What's the height they got to be?
I mean, I've dated people between like 5'7" and 6'4". So
Okay.
5'7" and 6'4".
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, hey, you know what? I think we got a pretty good idea and background of you. And I think, unless you have another question, nothing.
Men, she might be pushing away, but still shoot your shot. There's a chance, right? There's a
Easy.
chance.
I don't know.
Always
You don't
a
know.
chance. You never know.
That's not a no.
I don't know.
And I'm not sure if I'm willing to be caught.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No
It's happened.
distractions over here.
No distractions.
Okay.
it off.
Last question that we always ask guests. Why are you a catch?
Because I'm artistic in many ways, and I'm always into growing and learning. And I've been told that I am someone who people feel comfortable with right away, and they feel seen. But I mean, that makes me a good catch as a tattoo artist, because I don't think I'm willing to be caught as a partner.
Okay.
Maybe not. We don't know. Until the next episode, folks. Tune in. Thanks for joining us. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much, Elaine. I appreciate it. That was great.
If you're looking for a tattoo, hit her up. She's insanely talented.
Yeah, you
and
might
we'll
have to
link
wait
her
a little bit,
socials.
though.
Yeah, you might have
okay,
to
how
wait a
would they
little.
do that if they wanted
Yeah.
to?
I have a mailing list
Okay.
that people can join. I hit over 1,000 people on there at the beginning of this year, so that was
Wow.
really exciting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, that means you got to up your prices.
That's hard. I mean, I have before, but
Supply and demand.
This year. I know.
Yeah.
I just, like I said, want to be fair to everyone that I tattoo.
Yeah, totally. Well, I mean, if
And-
you're that talented and that much demand,
Yeah. I
maybe
mean,
up-
hey.
yeah,
I
I feel like that's fair if you up your price.
But I give the option for people to tip too.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the people that have more money,
Yeah.
I just want to be conscious of the people who don't always have thousands of dollars to spend on tattoos.
Yeah, that's totally respectable. I
And
like
if
that.
anybody's still watching, anything you want to shout out? TikTok, Instagram, anything?
I mean, yeah, you can follow me on both. It's just Electric Elaine.
Okay. Electric Elaine. She's got the tattoo. Electric.
Yes,
Right.
electric.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you so much, Elaine. I appreciate
Yes,
it.
thank
Thanks
you.
for coming on.
Yeah.